Here tonight where detectives just solved a 37-year-old cold case.
It was actually new advances in DNA technology that helped investigators link blood drops at the crime scene to the suspect decades later. Our Polk County reporter Rebecca Petit explains how they cracked the case.
Theresa Scalf was stabbed to death in her Lakeland home back in 1986. Her killer was never even on police's radar, but now advances in technology has solved the cold case 37 years later.
I'm 84 years old. I lived to see this done. I think that's why I lived so long.
Nearly 4 decades after Theresa Scalf was brutally murdered in her Lakeland home, her family finally knows who did it. Polk County Sheriff's Office homicide detectives have determined that Donald Douglas was responsible for the death of the 29-year-old nurse. Douglas lived behind Scalf and was 33 years old at the time of the murder.
Showed up at her house with what looked like he had yanked a flower up out of the ground and slapped it into a pot. And he was sort of stalkerish. She had told us about him, but she'd never described him.
Among the evidence that was collected at the scene was a blood sample that remained unmatched to any known individuals for decades. In 2022, with the help from a private lab specializing in forensic genetic genealogy in cold case investigations, detectives were able to confirm that the blood found at the murder scene belonged to Douglas.
We knew based on looking at the family tree, it led back to Mr. Douglas, which is deceased, but we knew that he had a son, so we were able to get the son's DNA, which confirmed that he would be the son of the offender.
Douglas died of natural causes in 2008. Investigators say because Douglas had no criminal history and his body was cremated, the DNA never hit on a match. A DNA sample from Douglas's son ultimately solved the case.
DNA that people publicly put out there that we could use. So they have to opt into that. Not everybody has their DNA open to the public like that if you use 23andMe, but you can opt in to do that. And that's how we start building the family tree.
In Polk County, Rebecca Petit, ABC Action News.